Welcome.
Is it supposed to go this way?
No.
Oh, good. Well, then no problem.
Well, I mean, we have in the past, but the past is the past.
Are you comfortable enough to start?
Yes. Okay. Welcome to What Would You Do? Pub Springs Edition, hosted by the Seesters.
Femily
and Mags.
And we can't wait to talk to you about our first question that is...
I forgot to prepare for this, but what do I do when I don't prepare? Good question. Actually, that is the perfect one.
Great.
Because what I found out, and I think you have too, is that if it's something that you need to prepare for, like spending so much time preparing and running over slides and doing something for hours and hours and mentally anguishing over it, that's a sign that you're not in the flow.
Oh, yeah, true.
So let's talk about flow.
Wait, so you're saying, one second, you're saying the ideal engagement, the ideal speech to give, the ideal work presentation, the ideal what? Dinner party conversation, ideal date?
Anything.
Okay, all the things. If you're rehearsing in your mind of how to do it, what to say, how to respond, then that is a sign that it's not the thing for you.
Well, I'm going to go on the flip side of that.
Okay.
Instead of saying all these things are not for you because maybe you're just like not having the right mindset about it, like you think you're not worthy enough for this presentation. Okay. So let's put that aside. But how you know you are in the flow is if you are like, this is a state that we've gotten to this year where we're like, we're going to record a video.
Yeah.
We kind of have a topic, and then we used to maybe write some bullet points about it, but now we can just get on and talk about it. And so that is a sign that we're in the flow.
For sure. So talk about the flow.
Yeah, so the flow is this amazing place where you're being yourself and your negative self-talk is quiet enough that your pure genius can come through. And the flow is a place that every human can get to, but we never think we can because the world beats you into the corner telling you this is the person you need to be, this is the job that you need to get because bills and this, it tells you all of these certain things. And so rarely do you ever feel free enough to find yourself in a place where you can be in the total flow.
But the kinds of things, we always hear that like running gets you into the flow, which sure, I'm just not into running, but if you are, then great.
Yep.
I know that my sweetheart gets into the flow through power yoga because there's enough talking out there and enough flowing and thinking and breathing here that by the time it's the end, he has a quiet monkey mind so that he just can go with his heart and just like be in that kind of flow space.
And meditation, I mean, quieting the mind is the most influential way that you can figure out exactly who you are and what you want. And when you figure out who you are and what you actually like to do and what you're passionate about, then you're in the flow. If I'm trying to do spreadsheets, I'm literally never going to be in the flow, ever, for me.
For you.
Some people...
I find it deeply calming.
Great.
Yeah.
Then you're in charge of all of our spreadsheets.
Oh, no!
But some people, that is their flow, right? Some numbers people actually love numbers, and maybe punching in at a finance firm or whatever isn't necessarily the flow, but doing those numbers are. So, like, finding those pieces of you that feel the most like you, of things that come naturally to you. Like, I'm not saying blow up your whole life and only do things that are in the flow, but notice when you're feeling that flow feeling and do those things a little bit more. And the feeling that you get when you're like, God, this is never working. Why doesn't this work? This is so frustrating. That's not the flow.
No.
Do those things less. Either delegate them, pay someone. I'm hot too.
Oh my God. We're in the flow, so we're heating up the job.
Yeah, that is also a sign you're in the flow.
Yes, I agree. And I know that's true. Okay.
Yep. So do the things that feel good more. And even if that means right now you have to go to an 8 to 5 and clunk away and you hate every minute. But when you get home, you do some fucking watercoloring or playing the ukulele. Speaking from my own exact life story, just do things that feel good to you and do a little bit more of those every day and a little bit less of the frustrating stuff.
One note on meditation. So I was just talking to a badass boss lady yesterday who was like, I can't quiet my mind. So it's not in fact that you need to make your mind be quiet. It's that you sit in there and you breathe, and when all those busy thoughts come in, you see them as not you, but as a thought that's going by. So therefore, when you pop out of meditation and you're in the line at the grocery or you're at your board meeting, you can hear thoughts come in and you don't have to think it's you. You're just like, there's a thought. Am I going to grab it and believe it's real? Like, oh, there's one that says, you're not worthy, you're an old poop. Maybe
Right.
don't grab it. It gives you some distance between
Yes.
the horrible thoughts or the distracting
Yes.
thoughts or the biased thoughts or whatever
Yep.
the thoughts are that you don't want to necessarily grab and then like be on that train with it.
Exactly. And the best thing that I've learned this year, when I see a thought or hear a thought or a thought comes up or I'm noticing a thought that's telling me I'm not good enough
Yeah.
or whatever, that's usually the one. But when I notice
sure.
that, any thought that is not serving me and my ultimate highest good, I
Yeah.
just say, oh, that's not for me.
Sure.
Like
not
that
for
thought is not for
you.
me.
Yeah.
Not for me. Thank you, goodbye. I'm not going to get pissed off about that because that's
Yeah.
raising the energy of that specific thought and giving it more attention. Just not for me, and it just flows away like a balloon, like a butterfly. Like think of some visual that you can have too, that you can let these thoughts just flow by because they're not you. And most likely they're, you know, just like what's running in the background from a lifetime of living in the patriarchy.
Right, absolutely. All those movies, all those religious figures, all those family members.
Remember middle school? If people were mean to you in middle school, that shit's still running.
You're like,
and
it's true. My
yeah.
feet are huge.
Yeah.
And that means I'm bad.
Yeah, exactly. We know. And what's powerful for us, find yourself a friend who also has negative self-talk, so any human.
I'm the friend with negative self-talk?
Yeah, every human is. And,
Okay,
is that more of your negative self-talk I've just given to you?
We're kicking her out.
Oh
The
my
next
God.
issue is just me. We're talking about toxic friends.
Oh my gosh, we actually are talking about toxic friends next. We did have we have 2 topics, just not for this first video.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say?
You're out of the flow.
I'm out of the flow.
How do you get back in?
Well, oh, good. I don't let those thoughts arise. I
Yeah.
take a deep breath. And I can reach for the next better feeling thought. So if I'm feeling angry that I feel stupid, something a little bit better. Well, I don't have the whole emotional scale in front of me, but we'll post the emotional scale soon. It's like basically these are all the vibrations of your feelings from shame and guilt and fear, where those were my 3 primary emotions for 33 years. I just went from each one to the next, around in a circle.
Yeah. But when you know that you don't have to be, if you're like in a shame spiral with yourself or feeling low or feeling self-conscious, don't feel like, oh, my only other, I sense I can't be like so loud and proud and happy and confident and shame-free on the stage. I should just stay here. Like the chart shows you like one baby step to go up and up and up. What's one tiny thing better that I can think about myself and that I know is true about myself? So not fake Pollyanna, just like what's literally a little bit better of a thing. Like, I'm so stinky at presentations, I'm scared I'm about to hop on stage. Okay, like, I may feel I'm stinky at presentations, but then I'm like, actually, the last one I did, now I remember they loved it, and they wrote me the best thank you card. Just like, what's an inch forward?
Yeah, asking yourself, what's a better feeling thought that I can have, and then letting them come in. Just don't try to be like, I am Beyonce from when you're feeling like a poop. But if you're like, I'm not horrible. That one time I was okay. I said something brilliant. Then you can literally climb yourself up in this isn't like a years thing. This is a matter of seconds. Really. Like once you get really good at this, you can just climb your way up too.
Yep. And then every time you climb your way, by the way, it smells a little like poop out here.
It smells a lot like poop.
Oh God. We're gonna log off.
This may look glamorous, but it smells like poop out here.
Bye, little friends, big friends.
You're just ending it?
It smells like it.
Okay, we'll see you on the next one.
This is not my best life to smell this smell.